Okay, folks, I'm starting to show a little early tonight because it looks like the sun's going behind a cloud bank, but we still should have some pretty colors. I'm going to be busy flying the drone. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. I'll see if I can answer them the best I can. Enjoy the show. I'm trying out the microphone tonight. Let me know if I sound a little choppy, folks. I know there's three people on there. Two I know. I think one's lurking in the background. If you want to introduce yourself, you want lurker, go ahead. If you don't, that's fine too. I had a couple of questions about the drone. How long does it fly? Things along that line. What drone am I using? Drone is what you would think most people would use for as far as drones nowadays. It's meant for home use. It's the DJI Mini 4 Pro. I found it to be pretty good at what it does. Excuse me, voice is a little dry. As far as as for how long the battery lasts, it really has to do a lot with the wind conditions. The windier it is, the less the battery will last. So if it's really windy outside, I have maybe 20 to 25 minutes of flight time. That doesn't include the flight time to get up in the air or back down. Um, so I put a little padding on either side so I can make sure the drone always gets home. If it's not as windy, I've been able to fly the drone as long as I'm conservative with the movements and where I'm flying to. Anywhere between 30 to 40 minutes. 40 minutes if it's standing still, 30 minutes if I'm flying it nicely. The more aggressive you fly the drone, obviously, the quicker you're going to drain the battery. Um, as for if I can make it a nightly event, I don't know so much about that. A lot of it's going to depend on weather conditions. Tonight's weather conditions were pretty good for it. I had a good feeling about it, but I don't think anybody wants to see a sunset when they can't see the sun. Uh, there isn't a whole lot of big planning I can do with it. So what I'll try to do is see what the conditions are earlier in the day, and then if conditions merit it, I'll throw a quick public announcement. Should be a little bit better about throwing the announcements out since I now have a good setup for live streaming. If I'm able to live stream a sunset, I'll have announcements go out like about 5, 6 o'clock around there. Starting to lose a little bit of the sunset color, so I'm going to zoom in a bit. If you want to know what direction you're looking at in San Antonio, you're looking northwest towards the hill country, towards Kerrville. Um, as this evolves, I'll have little graphics for on the bottom of the screen as to where you're looking at, whether it's north, south, east, or west. But as I'm testing things out over the next few live streams, please forgive me. It'll get better as it goes on. Taylor, thanks for the compliment, but I am so not your new city cam. I can only do this sporadically. Now, if you would like to pay me a salary, of course I can be your new city cam. In the event I ever run out of battery power in the middle of a live stream, I will land a drone, replace the battery fairly quickly, and get it back up in the sky. Uh, that does happen to me on occasion, especially when it's really windy. So um, there'll be a little graphic that shows up that lets people know that. Rochelle, as soon as I get enough viewers, I'll enable the tip jar. Yeah, you can hear Sherry laughing in the background. I don't see that happening anytime soon. There are enough competing live cams. I have to make more engaging content. Just having a sunset isn't enough. I have to land the drone in about a couple of minutes, so I'm going to do a quick tour of the San Antonio sky. Nothing major, just a couple of things that we can see from the north side. Yeah, there's that strong wind warning again. So as I'm looking out over our neighborhood, if you're looking right now, I'm looking west. And westward, you can see Campolis. Campolis is a military training area. If I try to fly this drone over there, they're not very happy about it. And yes, they do have jammers. On a clear day, and I mean a really clear day, which today is not, I can see all the way down to downtown San Antonio and at least make out the outline of the city. Um, Today's not that day. Southward, I have the neighborhood water tower. If that ever goes bye-bye, I can kiss my water in a neighborhood goodbye. Let me zoom out a little bit more. I'm currently flying at around 200 feet. I'm flying lower because of the high winds. You can see, as you can see, I live in let's see, what do they call those? McDonald, a big house. Is that the term that was used? So if we have big houses, that's a big farm. Turning toward the east, and I'm going to try to zoom in on it all the way. Not the water tower. Let me see if I can find it. On some days, it's a little easier to find the particular landmark that I'm looking for. The landmark that I'm looking for is the San Antonio, Texas Temple. And some days are better than others in finding it. There it is. If you look right at the center of your screen, the San Antonio, Texas Temple is there. It's a little tiny building. You would have to zoom in on YouTube. On days when the sunset is less interesting, I'll probably fly a little bit closer to it. soft elevator music in the background. Okay, just the next live stream. I don't know what it'll be. I'll try to find um, fair use elevator music I can put in the background. I think that could happen. All right, live stream's coming to an end, folks. Let me give you one last look at the sunset before I land this bird. Thanks for tuning in, and I will let you know the next time I do this. Bye-bye.